You are not alone. This is the Resistance.
And good evening, people. I'm not going to take the low ground. I know. I'm just going to say, and someone's got some background noise. I'm going to have to mute Southeast to bring him back. I'm going to take the high ground. Yes, people, don't listen to the lies. Don't listen to the rumors. Oh, that was Catherine. Lies, rumors continue to spread. The New World Order is panicking, and this is a night we're going to be talking about FEMA camps, and we hope to stop that as well. We're already seeing, man, the flu shots, the forced vaccines, probably not going to happen. Too much exposure, too much resistance. Obama, the ass clown in Copenhagen, getting the Nobel Peace Prize today. By the way, I did predict that. And on June 8th, I have it on my archive, on my June 8th archive. I also did it in August, and I did it in February, trying to find that archive as well. That Nobel Peace Prize would be given to Barack Obama. I didn't say would. I guaranteed. I put my reputation on the line that he would get it. Well, he got it today, just like Hitler did in 1939. And, yes, Obama's getting a number of headaches, it seems, as Copenhagen is not going as smooth as he and the global elite like. So what are they going to do? They are trying to stop resistance to exposing other options that they have in their hand of cards. FEMA camps, fusion centers, demonizing patriots that would dare question authority, demonizing such patriots as Ron Paul, Chuck Baldwin, and Bob Barr. And yes, those of us that oppose an illegal, unconstitutional, unaccountable war in Iraq. With that being said, I want you to check out campfema.com. Catherine Bleish is in it, our guest tonight. You can order the DVD off AmericanResistanceRadio.com. And we're going to talk about this. We're also going to talk about her recent arrest, which the police recently apologized for. Yes, people, that doesn't make Catherine Bleish a criminal just because she was arrested, nor does it make anyone a criminal if they're arrested, if they're not convicted, okay? Yes, many lies out there, and I challenge anyone anytime. Yes, chaos, sad, all lies. Well, tonight, we're going to talk about why legislation is being used to legitimize the use of FEMA camps. Catherine, with that being said, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And I understand you're having it's about 4 o'clock right now, a little bit after 4 actually, as you're in the great state of Hawaii, right?
Yes, I am. I am in Hawaii right now, believe it or not. It's my first time off the continent, so it's pretty exciting.
How is it in Hawaii? Is it everything you thought it would be?
Well, it's bigger than I thought it would be, and this week I was able to see some of the biggest waves in decades, so that was pretty cool, just kind of a freak accident. There was the Eddie Aukai, a surf competition.
Cool.
It's only the 8th time in 25 years that waves have been big enough for them to actually do it, so that was pretty neat.
Absolutely. Confederates, send me footage of that FEMA train, and I'll forward it to Catherine Bleish. One of my guys said they got some footage of a FEMA train. Well, Catherine, before we get started, you've appeared in Camp FEMA. You put your a lot of work into a project called the LibertyRestorationProject.org. But before we get into the fusion centers, you recently had an incident with the police, which I understand last week they apologized for. You mind explaining what happened and what that was all about?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, excuse me. Interestingly enough, I was trying to take a night off of politics. I know that's kind of crazy, especially considering here I am down in Hawaii, and I've spent my entire time glued to my phone and my internet. But I was actually trying to take a night off politics, and I'd left my cell phone and my camera at home. Now, I'm an advocate of, I tell everyone all the time, always be armed with a video camera. Never go anywhere without it, and I did. I went with my ex-boyfriend to his court date, and I was standing in line with him. We were outside in the cold, in the dark, and we all were standing out there, about 45 people, and 30 minutes goes by, 40 minutes goes by, after court was supposed to start. And they finally let about 15 people in, and the rest of us started mingling up on the patio area. And this officer came outside and started demanding that people line up against the wall. Now, you know me, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Now, I did not speak to him, and I was not belligerent. I turned to the girl standing next to me, who I later learned her name is Kimberly, and I said, get in line, show us your papers, give us your money, welcome to the new America. And he heard me say that, and he, kind of looks over the heads of the people standing in front of me, and he asked me to repeat myself. So I did. And he came running up to me, do you want to go to jail tonight? Do you want to go to jail? I said, for what, sir? I've done nothing. In this country, I'm allowed to speak. The Constitution protects it, and God gave me that ability. I'm going to use it. And he said he would make something up to put me in jail. Now, long story short, he told me after asking the crowd if anyone had a leash to put on me, he then told me I had 2 minutes to leave. And at that point in time, I wrote down on a piece of paper that I was just told I would be arrested if I didn't leave in 2 minutes, and that he would make up charges to arrest me for. And I handed it to Josh, and I said, if this really happens, if I really go to jail, please have people sign and witness that they heard him say that. Lo and behold, they came out, they arrested me. In the process, they pointed a taser at that girl, Kimberly, and Josh got 10 people's signatures that they witnessed him saying that he would make up charges. 7 of them put down their phone numbers. 6 people have spoke to Channel 2 on camera. So obviously I went and I filed a complaint, and I started filing open records requests with the police department. I requested oaths of office, disciplinary action, my police reports, just basically anything anyone suggested for me to go in and ask for, a copy of the surveillance tape, et cetera, et cetera. And they had me come in for their internal affairs investigation, and they weren't exactly treating me wonderfully, but as soon as they saw that I had 10 witnesses who had signed on a piece of paper, their tune changed a little bit. And when Channel 2 showed up at the court, traffic court, about 4 weeks later after the incident, the next day they dismissed my case. And when I returned, that was right before Continental Congress, and when I returned from the Continental Congress, I had in my mailbox a letter from them telling me that the arresting officer did indeed violate departmental policy.
Well, that sounds like, a lot of pressure. I got a call from one of our members in the militia today, and they had an incident where everything was thrown out. There was someone saying they were flashing a weapon at somebody, and I guess they said that they had video, and, of course, they were challenged to produce the video, and bottom line, long story short, the officers left and said, we apologize. We mistake your vehicle for someone else. But they were asking to see weapons. They were asking to see their, what weapons they had, where they were stored, and so forth. A member of the militia here in Georgia. And, again, it all matters, Catherine, to standing up for our rights, knowing how far they can push us. And with that being said, we're going to get into fusion centers. Right now we're joined with Wade Hicks, who's joining me for part of the show. I don't know what happened to Southeast, of the Free Speech Zone, heard here on American Resistance Radio, also WQRPZ or something out of Mississippi. And yes, people, those are live weapons, fully loaded behind me, an AK-47, and yes, a .223 Daewoo semi-automatic assault rifle. And yes, they're fully loaded, and yes, armor-piercing rounds right here that I'm displaying. I just want to let you know, so if any of you people out there get any bright ideas to interrupt my show, you're going to have a big surprise. I just need to reach over and light you up, okay? I just want, I just want to address that, Wade, since some people have gotten wise and trying to imply threats. I'll turn them into a block of Swiss cheese. And don't forget, people, I do have incendiary rounds. With that, Wade, welcome to the show.
Oh, man, every day that passes, I'm just amazed at the level of government corruption and how the mass populace is just rolling over and taking it and not really too concerned about it. It's almost sickening. I'm starting to wonder, are they adding more fluoride to the water or something to make these people more dumb and docile? Are they using HARP to try to make as many people docile as they can? I don't know. I mean, there's so much stuff that's going on in this country right now, and people don't even really seem to care about it anymore.
Well, we got the guest on tonight. She's 25 years old, and she seems to care a lot about this country. In fact, let's get into it, Catherine. Let's start. Operation Defuse, the year of informing and enlightening people about fusion centers. Let's start with that. Operation Defuse, Catherine. What is it, and what can we do to get this ball rolling?
Well, Operation Defuse is a very exciting project. It was born out of the Continental Congress, the Privacy Committee. And, you know, John Bush out of Austin, Texas, and I, we've been spending a lot of our time and energy fighting the intrusive nature of these institutions called fusion centers. And before I explain what Operation Defuse is, I think it would probably be helpful for people who don't know what fusion centers are to get a brief overview. Would that be all right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we got a lot of time, Catherine, so go ahead.
Okay. Well, fusion centers are institutions that I believe are not receiving enough attention right now from our own movement. There are people in our movement, in our liberty-loving movement, who are making great waves and who have no idea that these institutions exist, and that became very obvious to me at the Continental Congress. Now, I'm sure most people heard about the report that was issued in Missouri last spring. It was called the MIAC Report on the Modern Militia Movement. And it was a report that came from MIAC. It means Missouri Information Analysis Center. That's a fusion center. And it came out and it said, basically anybody who comes from a conservative or libertarian background, anyone who supports Ron Paul, Bob Barr, Chuck Baldwin, these are people that the law enforcement should watch out for as potential threats, potential dangerous radical militia members, and potential domestic terrorists. And of course, when that came out in Missouri, I did not know what fusion centers were, but being a Missouri resident, it hit me very hard, and I was very upset. And I immediately began acting to speak out against the report that came out and learn as much as possible about the fusion centers. And what I found out were these fusion centers, they come from basically from Homeland Security. They became Homeland Security policy in 2005, and they received legislative backing with the 9/11 Act of 2007. And what these fusion centers do, if you remember when Homeland Security was created, they were saying there's issues with communication, the CIA and the FBI, right? There's issues between these different levels of law enforcement, and Homeland Security is going to make that easier. Well, the way they do that is through these, quote, fusion centers where you have intelligence gathering initiatives that are merged together between all levels of law enforcement. That doesn't just mean your federal levels of law enforcement, your CIA, your FBI, your state highway patrol, your local city police, your campus police, and any sort of data or intelligence gets run through these fusion centers. So, for example, in the state of Missouri, our fusion center runs the driver's license.
So the fusion centers is what we would be processed in then before a FEMA camp?
No. These.
Well, let's distinguish it, because, you know, last time I talked to you, I was a little confused myself between the fusion centers and FEMA camps. Some people think they're one and the same. We got plenty of time, Catherine. Go ahead. Hello, Catherine. Okay, Wade Hicks, we lost her. Sounded like her cell phone was messing up. Wade Hicks, are you there? Okay, Wade Hicks, are you there? All right, people, we're having some audio problems again, audio attack. We'll be right back after this and more, hopefully with our guests. You are listening to American Resistance Radio, and this one goes out to my buddy, former buddy. This is a dedication to the guy that's spreading new rumors.